Alrighty, guys. So we obviously have a nice, strong Bitcoin breakout at the moment. We're sitting at $54,500. And now the question is there not much resistance all the way to 60,000? I have two major targets here. I got 60,000 and I have all-time highs. Right now, we're obviously seeing Bitcoin break a very important weekly candle close over here on the left, the resistance point here. And what we're seeing now is this could be a massive squeeze up to the 60K area. So we're going to speak about, is this a real breakout? What are we going to look at to see if it is a fake out? But obviously look at what's happening within the altcoins and which altcoins are exploding. So guys, I am back from honeymoon, back from marriage. It was absolutely amazing. Bringing you guys an unscheduled stream. So make sure you like the channel and make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're brand new watching right now. Today, we're going to be sitting and going through a whole bunch of alts. Let's speak about the Bitcoin breakout. Let's speak about where we're going short time frame. And obviously, is there a reality or a version of us really pumping to all-time highs really fast, before halving? Everyone's expecting after halving. Are we just going to pump through then? And obviously, what tools are we going to use if we do break through? So guys, make sure you do smash the like button and let's go, baby. Alrighty, guys. So again, if you're brand new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. Today, I'm actually doing a show for you guys. I want you guys to pop all of your tokens that you want in the chat right now, as well as if you look on Twitter, this will be a nice way for me to navigate all the tokens that you guys want me to chat about. I did ask a little bit earlier. I asked about, which tokens you want me to speak about. So go through to this comment over here and put your tokens in so we can go through them in the current show at the moment, as maybe some of these tokens are getting to some sort of take profit points. We're obviously seeing a massive explosion within a lot of tokens that we could see over the last 24 hours. We're starting to see a nice, strong theta breakout. I did speak about this earlier. A reminder, guys, I am on Banter Plus. So go to Banter Plus. I'll show you guys over here. If you go to Banter Plus, you will find where we at. Remember, we've got myself and Dylan on that show there or on this channel over here. So go to Banter Plus and subscribe. And I did speak about this earlier over here. So we got a nice little theta breakout. We have NEAR starting to break out too. I saw Matic waking up. I even saw Dogecoin starting to wake up too. So there's many tokens to be speaking about. But let's start off straight away here with Bitcoin, guys. So obviously this weekly resistance is big. This is a one where you have a little bit of these previous highs over here, which was around the $52,000, $53,000 sort of area. And why I always speak about these horizontals, they're extremely powerful, especially on high time frames, and especially when it comes to bull runs, guys. Whenever you look on the left over here and you got previous data and you see that there's a resistance, and that's a sort of area of where we could slow down. You can see Bitcoin did slow down the first time we attempted that 48,000. Once we finally got through that, it just goes to the next horizontal. And you could see the moment we got to the next horizontal of the 52, 53, Bitcoin slowed down for a couple of days. And now what we're doing is we're starting to shoot through here. And you can see the next weekly resistance is a small one, which is that 60,000. But the major one is actually the all-time high areas over here. So now we're in that full expansion mode, right? Where the market is showing, possible strong strength to go straight through without even the strong pullbacks. But we do need to obviously be aware, to see that we do still hold the level that we just broke through. So the fact that we are breaking through this $50,000 to $52,000 sort of area, this now becomes support, right? This is more or less the areas we want to hold now throughout this week, especially on the weekly close, to confirm the breakout and to confirm that, okay, that from here, we're going to push these major areas. Now, we're obviously not just excited about Bitcoin at the moment. We're obviously seeing the Ethereum expansion too. And you can see here that the moment that Ethereum broke this level, which is the 2,500 zone here on the weekly, the moment we finally got through that, look how we've started to expand really quickly to the upside. So you could see if you look at these horizontal resistances, especially on the weekly, they become really powerful on when coins are going to start accelerating, right? And the reason why I'm showing you this is because when we start going through some of the altcoins now, if you're starting to see altcoins breaking out of the top of these bottom ranges, guys, you got to understand that. Let's quickly go back a couple of weeks, right? We started off with Bitcoin. We obviously started with the ETF narrative. We started a lot of hype. And the moment Bitcoin started breaking 25, 28, we started to see the gaps, right? And if you look here on the Bitcoin chart, And the reason why I'm showing this, because this is going to save you a lot when it comes to your altcoins and, catching the right buys for this alt season, right? The strong push from altcoins to the upside. You want to use the first token that started to do it. And this was Bitcoin. This was the big area over here, which was this $30,000 zone. And it was this previous low of the last bull market, right? The previous support areas, which we held. And as long as we held that, we did open doors to going up to 69,000. The moment we got through that, you could see that as soon as we got through this area, we expanded straight away to the next resistance. And now we're getting through this resistance. We went to that one, and now the next one to the upside. So the moment you start finding tokens that are breaking through the bottom of the weekly trends here at the bottom is when you start to see the expansions. And I'll show you guys a quick example of this, because this is going to help you guys a lot when it comes to timing these tokens. What are you seeing? You saw the Bitcoin pump off. Now what you're seeing is Ethereum, and you're obviously seeing, altcoins start to wake up too, but you're seeing the narrative shift. It's going from gaming, then it's going AI, then it's going DeFi. We saw the DeFi pump as well. And there's many different, categories that are going. Oh, we've got Big Ben DJ in the house. What's happening? But let me show you here a quick example, because I want you guys still to be level-headed when you're trading this market. Everyone's going to make money right now. It's money season. This is where the market does offer money to the actual market. So don't think that, you're above or you got this game fully in check and that you're the smart person that's just making a ton of money. The market's giving it right now. And it's going to come down to patience, which is a big one, of knowing when a token's already gone and you can't buy it right now. And you got to sit on your hands and not touch that token. And it's going to come down to timing of where you're buying these tokens. The ones that have done obviously 200-300%, if you chase these, you're going to fall into a big trap that a lot of people in the last bear market or the last bull market fell into, where they did buy the highs, right? They bought a lot of the highs. That tends to be when a lot of the market's coming through. But here, let me show you another example here, as in 𝗏𝗀. Look how all of a sudden you could see that once we went through the big drop off and then we had a good period of sidewaysness, this is they say the accumulating area of a cycle. Once you've had the big drop off, you go sideways for a while. It's crazy how the drop off doesn't lose interest in the market. People are still paying attention. But the moment you go sideways and boring, people start losing attention. And we saw a lot of people started getting off of Bitcoin, off of crypto in that time. And then what happens is you set your first little weekly high. And I spoke about this morning, and I want to speak about it again quickly, because it's going to help you guys a lot, as I say, with these tokens on the weekly timeframes. But all that we saw here was this was making lower highs here on the weekly. And the moment we popped the first high on the weekly chart here, that's just coming out of this bottom range. Once it makes the higher high, it makes the higher low, and we tend to expand to the upside over here. And we saw this within a lot of tokens. We saw this happen just with 𝗏𝗀. And I want to show you guys how we need to time these areas over here when it comes to these tokens. These areas here of these breakout retests. And we'll speak about a couple of them that I think are doing it right now. But let's just see. There was a few other examples as well that I wanted to show you guys. Let me just see which one it was over here quickly. I think we saw it when it came to Solana as well. There we go. So if you look at the Solana trade, same thing. We went through this big dip off area here. The moment it set in its first weekly high over there, and you can see there was trends down here. A lot of these tokens are giving trends at the bottom over here. I'll indicate them for you. There we go. The moment it gave that first higher high over there and the higher low, look at the expansion to the upside. So you got to pay attention to all of the tokens that you're looking at, understanding that the money is going to shift to the different alts, but this is the area of where you want to time them, guys. Getting through in these tokens before they break this top area over here of the left range is when they really start to expand. So the early indication of the trend line break is showing you we're going to attempt the top of the range. Once you're through the top of the range, you could see how all of a sudden we just start to expand. And if you look here, that all that it basically takes is levels, guys. Once we are through this level, it will chase the next level. And you can just go through on the left side here and you can just see the previous levels. I just want to teach you guys this because end of the day, I'm here to give you alpha. I'm here to give you calls, but sometimes I'm not going to be live, right? And end of the day, you are in control of what you're buying, what you're selling, and what you're looking at the moment. So you need to make sure you're just taking in a few of these small tips. So it helps you, it saves you. I want you guys to make a ton of money. I want you to really keep it this time. A lot of people gave back, including myself. And I want to make sure that you guys, look after that and you just pay attention to the level. So the moment we got through this level here, we then expanded to this level. And you can see how it slowed down slightly there. As soon as we got through that, pushing up. And that's why for me, we never hit the major area on Solana. I'm still expecting at some point, Solana to make its way up to this major area, which is the 140. But that's basically it. It's looking at the major trend breaks, making sure that you are in your positions by the time that you get to the top of the range breakouts, and then you should be in. The only thing you should be possibly doing is adding small little bits to your positions, just little top-up positions on these little flag breaks that we have on the way to the upside. Guys, this is important when it comes to the bull market. And what I mean by the little add-ons, what I do is I take a whole bunch of bets, right? Let's say I got $10,000. I'll take 20 bets on altcoins. I'll put them in a whole different range of altcoins, right? And then what I'll do is I'll start eliminating. As I start getting my winners and I start getting a few of these tokens that really start to expand to the upside, and they, making these flags and showing a lot of strong pushes, the ones that are lagging really far behind and they're just not getting anywhere and they're not showing massive strength, specifically right now in this market, you're starting to get early signs of what's strong, right? The moment that you're seeing Bitcoin expand, you can see there's similar tokens that are pointing up all the time, when we're having these strong pushes of the ones that are performing really strong. So you're getting a little bit of hint of what's strong when the market comes. And when you start to expand and you start to get a couple of winners, you're going to end up having a couple of losers sitting there. Like they're just going to be not making you much. What I start doing is selling off on those and start adding to my winning positions. But obviously making sure that I'm still keeping my average entries down to the area. So once you are in the positions and you start to expand, the moment you start making these flags, and you'll see that right now, Solana's forming a massive flag, a slowdown area, preparation area for possible next breakouts, and it's preparing, maybe back to all-time highs. And what you will do is once you have, let's quickly clear up this chart here. Guys, just hit the like button right now if you appreciate the teaching, just to make sure that you're seeing what I'm seeing, right? So it's not a science. I'm not anyone, that knows more than anyone else. It's just using the basic tools. So now what you can start to see here is end of the day, you're going to start to see a couple of good trends to the upside. Let's put it in. Boom. And what we are starting to see is maybe a low here on Solana, but it's basically making this lower sort of trend over here too. So it's basically starting to form this flag. And once you start to see something like this, you start to understand that a healthy push within the markets and a healthy push within altcoins is when they go up, they make a slight sideways and they go up, and they go sideways and they go up. And what that does is it basically gives time for the market to get a lot of FOMO, within the token, and then it allows it to cool down slightly and start to get to RSIs to reset. And once it's ready again for the next move, it starts to make the next push. So you always want to see your alts within the alt season, especially on the weekly time frame, continuing this method of a strong, possible 100, 200% within the token, slow down period, another push, slow down period, until you start to see the shift. And the shift would be something like this. It starts to lose the possible lows. And that is the time where we really want to pay attention, to obviously taking some decent profits. And why I obviously love, tracking these things to the upside and specifically putting trends, because we don't know how far the tokens are going to expand, right? What's crazy? At the moment, it's not too hard, within this market, right? It's not too hard to sort of track where we're going, right? Oh, Bitcoin breaks 50, we're going to 60, we're going to 69. It's quite easy. There's a bunch of horizontals. What happens when there's no more horizontals? What happens when there's no more data? Where does your token go? How far is it going to go? You're going to sit and hold to where you think it's going to go or where people are predicting it's going to go. End of the day, you're left with the tools, right? That's going to help you, and that's just going to be tracking the actual momentum as it goes. So now if I look at something like this within Solana, just go back here quick, and this flag's happening, and I start to see, okay, a real weekly breakout coming, and the break of the points, I can start looking at some of my coins, and I'm going to use an example. Don't hit on me here, but maybe XRP is not doing anything. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't, but what I can start doing is start dipping out of those and start adding to a couple of the winners, especially if I got really good entries at the bottom ranges over here. And that's what it's going to come down to. It's going to come down to taking a couple of bets, then starting to get rid of the weight, right? The ones that are not pushing, because that's capital that's sitting over there, not really doing much, starting to add to the winners until you get to a really extended market where your tokens have done crazy amounts, or your count's done a lot. Then the best thing to do is to shift back into Bitcoin, right? The biggest mistake that I made within the last bull market was I kept shifting back into USDT. And what that allowed to do was it allowed me to sit with USDT, and then the markets would be going down and I'll be celebrating. And then I'd be at a lunch or I'd be on a holiday and Bitcoin would pump. And end of the day, I'd end up buying quite late within Bitcoin, and I lost Bitcoin, right? So my big thing now is whenever I want to take profit, I don't need to get out of this market anymore. Everyone thinks you've got to keep getting out, right? Getting back into USDT and things like that. No, the way I do it now is I shift into Bitcoin, I shift into a bit of ETH, and maybe a bit of USDT, and that will be spending money, right? Money that I need within my life and things like that. But now I'm no longer giving Bitcoin back. I keep giving Bitcoin away because I'm getting to USDT, and then, you know, you may not be at your computer to buy it back at the right time. So that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at bets, explosion, get rid of the weight, add to the winners, and then shift into Bitcoin. Wait for market to reset and start it all over again. And by doing that, I'm never leaving the market. I'm not predicting where it's going, but I'm also not holding on to weight, and I'm not falling in love with tokens. If a token's not getting anywhere, I know you want to poke it and it may go at some point, wait for the signs. When tokens usually start to move is when they are breaking very long, decent high time frame trend lines, and they are showing the signs of the first higher time frame, higher highs, higher lows breakout. So just follow the recipe, guys. When your token is showing you the recipe, that's what you follow. So again, why did I speak about theta? What was the reason for it? Why am I thinking there's an explosion? Because it's following the exact same recipe as what I've seen within the other tokens. What was the first point? First point was the higher high, right? There's the first high, there's the low, we're expanding up. When am I expecting this to explode? Once it's out the top of the range. And look at the gap. There's the gap, right? There's the acceleration point. And from that, where's my next major resistances? And I just want to give you guys a little bit of a heads up here. I use weekly closing candles as my areas of support and resistance on horizontals. Reason being is because we get a lot of like scammy wicks, if you may say, or wicks that are for liquidation hunts. They go to try liquidate the longs or the shorts. So it doesn't usually give me accurate readings. Where the closing candles give me really good accurate readings. That's more or less where we closed. That for me is the more trusted sort of levels. But you look at this from here with theta, you know, my next level is 2.7. And end of the day, if we start expanding properly, and we're obviously waiting for true alt season, and that is when this dominance decides to come down. Remember, the only reason I speak about dominance is, you know, literally to catch the rotation of money. And there's many times I call dominance going down here and alt season here, and I called it here, and I'm calling it here too. And I'm continuing through because I know the importance of catching the alt season dip. The alt season run, when this real dominance comes to the downside, when we have this over here, this means money comes out of Bitcoin into altcoins. Plus, what's crazy about it is Bitcoin is still going up while that's happening. So Bitcoin is still making its way up and money is getting diversified in. So again, every single one of these alts that you're getting and all these entries, it's literally your entry for one entry for the bull market. Once it's there, you got to have a plan. And it's basically, you've been praying, right? I'm going to make a scenario of you've been praying to drive that Ferrari. You've been praying to do these things. You get that shot. And when it comes, you know, don't mess it up, because otherwise you wait 3 years to do that. And that's why all the little tips that I'm giving you guys is going to help you a lot within a lot of these. And we are waiting again. And this, I just want to excite you because, you know, yes, Bitcoin's been doing good and alts have been moving pretty nicely for the last couple of months. The true alt season is still coming. The true leg over here. And it usually gets to a point of when we're getting near the end, you know, of the cycle is when we really start to see the expansion within altcoins. So you're seeing a lot of those things, as in theta, the other one I spoke about, which I still think is a possibility of being available, specifically because of where it's been, is obviously Gala Games. This is the one I spoke about earlier on the show. And the same thing, following rinse and repeat. I just think this one's a little bit earlier than the theta and a lot of the tokens. But the first higher high was put into play. The higher lows put into play. And once we get through this resistance over here, which is around the 3.5 cents, then I have 6 cents. And if we get through the top range, then you obviously start to see the massive expansion, and you could see how crazy the levels are. If we have Gala finally get through this area of 7 to 8 cents, you know, then you're looking at 18 cents. You're looking at a 5x possibility. So guys, what's super important, again, is to don't be afraid to take the bets on the ones that are following recipe, but then start to get rid of the ones that are lagging behind and start adding to them, but only add on flags, only add on RSIs, you know, wait for it. If Bitcoin, like you look at Solana, it pumped to 120, 130, and it came back to 85. That's the area, right? And catching those trend breaks. So keep being smart within that. Okay. Let's go through a few others. So one that I'm seeing And this is obviously the horizontals, Cardano, right? One of the older coins, but nonetheless, we should not have this argument about older coins and new coins anymore. We can see very clearly the market is rotating. We saw things like Uni. We've seen a lot of tokens that have been sleeping, 𝗬𝗓𝗡, Filecoin, all these tokens that are considered old tokens. The rotation happens no matter what. If you're going to have memes that have absolutely zero value, be worth billions of dollars, there's nothing wrong with a Cardano pump happening because it actually has something behind it and some sort of thing. So never sleep on, don't just think that it's just going to be new tokens. Again, why I like trading slightly older tokens, I got data. New tokens, there's no data. It's pretty hard on how long you're going to hold, where you're going to buy, where you're going to edit. It gets pretty tough. But Cardano, again, I still think is in a decent investment entry. I don't think short time frame. Yes, you can play to have some fun. But ultimately, this is one that's getting very near this range over here. And I just want to show you the top of the range. And that is this area over here, around about the 70-cent mark. You look at that, you look at the next top left point over here, and then you're looking at a really big gap. And this gap is looking, up to the areas of $1 to $1.2. So for me, this is one that I'm interested in, right? Again, you have to understand, if you're brand new, you're coming to crypto this week, or you've been in for a while, you sort of have to get what's available. Everything's going to rotate, but you got to look at what's obviously, giving us the recipe we're looking for. So Cardano, again, guys, I'll pay attention here. There's some small short-term possible wedges happening here. You could see it is breaking out at the moment, shorter time frame. I'll show you this over here. Let's just get through my lines here. Guys, pop the like button right now. I want to see Craig. I don't know if you are there. Let me know the like. I want to see that you guys are enjoying the teaching. Again, my goal is to try to teach you everything to help me, guys. Crypto literally saved my whole entire life, changed everything for me in my life. I just want to show you guys what helped me get that right. So there's the short-term Cardano break. So for me, I would slightly dollar cost for some positions over here. Remember, we are in a slight volatile market. So it looks like the ranges at the moment are between 55 cents, 65 cents. So the dollar costing helps you a lot with maybe a little bit expensive today, a little bit cheaper tomorrow, helps you build. But ultimately, what I want to try build here is to get through this, get my positions in before the break of that high point over there. That's the expansion point. And by then, I want to have the position in. So keep eyes on Cardano, guys. I still think there's a play there. I'm going to speak about a little bit of the older ones, and then we'll shift to some newer ones. We do have Phantom. First higher high there. I actually see a little bit of an inverse head and shoulders here. So I see a left shoulder, I see a head, and I see the right shoulder in play here too. So same thing here. There's still availability here for some building of a Phantom. Once it gets through here, guys, of 65 cents of where it stopped last time, the next target is $1 to $1.20. So another one that's showing possibilities of strong pushes, and it's showing the same recipe, right? It's starting to repeat the same recipe over there. Let's look at a few others. I'll go through my list, and then I'll start going through your guys' list. If you look at things like 𝗲𝗡𝗧 has had a really strong breakout out of the range. All that it did was it went to the next resistance, and now what it's done is it's forming that flag. And for me, it's preparation. And this preparation over here is for me to look at the next major resistance push over here. So I got two targets. And I'm actually accumulating here, between this $45 mark and the $35 mark on 𝗲𝗡𝗧 for the push to the $80 to the $90 range. That's the next resistance. If we break through this range and this high over here, there's a little bit more resistance here at around 60 to 70. So still a really good amount up from where we are now. But ultimately, that is the push that I'm looking for there of $80 to $100. So that's looking pretty good. Slowing down a bit. RSIs are resetting. It popped, obviously, the first higher high. So that's looking good at the moment. I see we're getting a little bit of a dot breakout. So this one as well. Bottom range, a little bit of an older token. Still in bull market investment entries for me. Like if I look at this, I don't know if you remember what exactly the Solana chart looked like and all the charts look like. I see a very similar pattern over here within this one over here. So if I pop that in there, pop through first higher points. Once we get through here, now all of a sudden you're looking at 16, 18 bucks. So keep eyes on that. I see BNB is waking up. BNB starting to pop through. So it looks like BNB is starting to make its way up. Looks like 450 is the next, sort of target, and possibly all-time high pushes. So it's nice to see BNB waking up. Let's go through a couple of these. So We'll see what's available. I'll see for you guys now what is available for some more entries. I've given you guys a few now, but some of them are already going. And I think you got to start looking at a couple of your winners now and start making some sort of decisions, right? With your winners, are going to start banking, are you going to start shifting, these sort of things. So here's another thing as in near. First high was put in, came and tested it exactly. Look how something that was previously resistance becomes support, guys. It's amazing. You just want to see, what was previous levels. Just want to show you here quickly. If this was coming down and you start to break up, all you want to do is see that these previous levels over here start to become support areas. And you just want to see it keep turning those previous levels into support. And as long as it's doing that, it's progressing, showing you higher lows every time, higher highs on the high time frame. And you could see how beautifully this played out here by breaking through this previous high, coming back, testing it, and now looking to obviously push through the next one. So near, guys, I don't see much resistance. It obviously has the previous high at 4.6, but we should see possibly in the next few weeks, $6, if not a $7, $8 sort of range for near. So that one's looking pretty good. 𝗬𝗡, same thing. 𝗬𝗡's at the range higher, guys. So there's something happening within storage. If you start looking at narratives, you've got 𝗬𝗡, you've got Filecoin. I'll speak about Filecoin in a second. So start keeping a little bit of eyes of that over there because they look like they're getting to the top range points here. And obviously, if we pop through that, we got $30 and then we have $40 over here too. So that one's looking pretty good as well. Remember, if you are finding your token at the top of the range, it does mean it can be a small rejection point, right? So I'd be entering, if I got $1,000, probably $300, $400 in these areas, keeping a little bit. And I'd rather wait to see that it breaks it. Because if it breaks it, then exactly what we just saw now with near is it will come back, retest, and that's where I'll add in the rest. So I would add some and build a little bit of position here, for the entries. Once it's through and the retest happens, I can add in the rest, right? Or what happens is from here, I add in a bit and it comes down. Then I can add in at cheaper levels and obviously get ready for the break. So there's two options. You don't have to worry about it. And you can obviously ladder in with some of them. Someone did bring up algo earlier. I think algo is still a massive opportunity. I don't think it goes back to all-time highs, but I do think there's a lot of good money to be made over here. Because if you see here, the early signs, same thing. First higher high in play here, higher low. And, from here, we're looking at pushes up to, 30, obviously your first target. But I'm looking at the range high, which is 100% away. And obviously, if we break through that, my main targets are probably the region of 80 cents, if not up to $1. So algo is looking pretty decent as well at these levels. Let's give some XRP some love. I think, guys, XRP always does shine at some point, right? And this is one that's looking, it's at the bottom ranges over here. So this one is still looking pretty good. The only thing is, it's not really repeating the recipe, right? So who knows when it will pump? You've got a few indications possibly, and it will be this main trend over here, which has multiple touches. So it is indicating that if you look here, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 touches on this trend over here. And if it decides to weekly break this trend here, guys, this could be a push back up to these areas of, up to 80 cents, if not $1. So keep eyes on this. This could be a nice way to, it's up to you if you want to hold it throughout the whole bull market, but, catching a breakout over here, very similar to what happened the previous breakouts. And I'll show you guys this over here. There you had 3 nice little weekly closed touches over there. The moment we broke through it, we ended up seeing a massive move of up to, 100% within a day. I remember it was a crazy move. So keep an eye on XRP, possible pushes over there. I spoke about Atom, guys. I still think Atom is in a great level. I still think the 𝗏𝗏𝗡 ecosystem, I still think it's going to explode. So I'll be focusing on a lot of the 𝗏𝗏𝗡 tokens. By the way, guys, get Banter Bubbles. So go to Banter Bubbles, and you can even go to the filters over here, and you can go see all the different ecosystem tokens. So this will help you a lot to find the tokens that are moving at the moment. And there's the 𝗏𝗏𝗡 one. So if you're looking at 𝗏𝗏𝗡 start to break through, pop to the ecosystem and go and have a look and see what tokens are moving there. And you could see right now, if we look at this, look here, there's some action happening at the moment. And this will help you with tokens within that if you want to get through that. So that's what's nice about getting chains and things like that. There's a lot of tokens that are being built on these things. You need me to go all out? I will go bull. Don't worry. I will. But 𝗏𝗏𝗡 is good, guys. So I got 2 targets here. I got 18, $20 shorter term targets. And I do think we go back, up to the 25-30s a little bit later on. And maybe fast. And just a quick little hint as well, guys. If you get your entry on the token And your token does that 100, 200% in a couple of days, because that's what we're starting to see, right? We're seeing that the tokens take a little bit of time, and all of a sudden, boom, they explode. And we can show a couple of examples over here. Let's just go back here. Just go back to the weekly over here. You start to see how your token starts to expand. Let's actually look at the monthly. Look at that. All of a sudden you see AGIX, you saw a whole bunch of the AI tokens. The moment you see them pump off over here, it's a good opportunity for you to take at least your initial capital back. And what I've done is, if I got $1,000 in these tokens and they double, I take my $1,000 back and I leave the rest in for the bull, right? There's a lot of plays, but once you have major money, don't be afraid to take it. And all you do is you can take the money and just go buy a bunch of Bitcoin. Like, accumulate Bitcoin, 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 Bitcoin. We can see the fight at the moment. There's a lot of Bitcoin on the market that everyone is fighting for at the moment. So whenever you bank profits, just bank it into Bitcoin. That is such a good way of not getting out of the market, but also accumulating the most valuable asset, right? I made the mistake. I kept going to USDT. I thought it was smart. Like, for me, it wasn't. So make sure that you do learn from that, guys. I see we've got GRT, which expanded really strong to the upside. I think DEXs are starting to wake up. So another one that I still think is in nice little areas. And the reason why I'm saying that is because it's obviously planted its first higher point here. It's now breaking a short-term trend. It's about to retest, but it's still in that range. And once it's through that range, I have $7 to $8 as the next target. So DYDX is also still looking like a really good token to get ready for the bull market. I still think DEXs are going to have their run and a massive push. Let's jump back to also Filecoin over here. So Filecoin, I do think there'll be some retests of around the early $7, but same thing. Storage looking pretty good here. Again, once you find your tokens, right, and they're in the range over here, guys, you can dip your toes in getting some of the buys now, but also just have a bit of cash ready for it. And the moment you go here and you got your little list of what you're buying, and that's still in the ranges and are showing obviously the recipe, then you go and you wait for the day where you see 15, 20% of these red things, right, on the daily over here. And that's when you go add some more to the positions or flags and things like that. So Filecoin is also looking incredibly good at the moment. I see Matix waking up. So Matix about to break this high, guys, over here. So giving me an indication that we should see a possible $1.5 coming pretty soon on Matic. So Matic's definitely opening and expanding pretty good. And if you look at a couple of horizontals here, yeah, it's mainly this high here, which is at 1.1. After that, 1.5. And after that, you're starting to look at $2 range. So Matic is also showing some strength. I'm waiting to see if there's going to be another render push. So obviously Render really smashed it out the park. Again, followed the same recipe down over here, set its first high, set a low, and expanded really quickly. I do think, this is the tough point now of where do you start taking profits on these things and things like that. But I'm looking here on the shorter time frame. There's a little bit of a possible wedge for another breakout point. There's a few ways. Let's speak about a few ways of how would you take profit on a token like this, right? Because any tokens that you're in can go into these all-time high sort of territories, and it does get pretty tough, to sort of navigate of what to do. So the first thing, let's have a look over here. The first thing that I'll do is I'll pop a couple fibs on here. So I'll quickly take the Fibonacci, and it gives me a couple of levels. So what you need is the previous high over here and the low. So the previous high to the low, and you're going to drag your Fibonacci to that area over there. And then I want you to just double click here. It should come already standard, but you just want to set a few things over here. So the first one here will be 1.618. So 1.618. Your second one will be 2.618. These are my two major areas. And what it does is it gives you projected levels, right? And these things work really well. And I'll show you a quick example of this, which was Injective Protocol. So if you look at Injective, I just want to show you guys this quickly because it'll help you a lot. So if you look at the previous level on Injective, right? When this thing got through all-time highs, you don't have much levels. But if you took the previous high to the low and you took a Fibonacci level, so you took it from the top to the bottom, do you see how it gave a couple of levels? And look where it slowed down, guys. Look where it started to chill out a bit at this area here, exactly around the area of the 1.618. So it gives you a nicer projected level. Don't ask me why Fibonacci is accurate and it works a lot within these things, but it does. It does give you some areas of where to focus on. So this is one way that you can work. You can work on, Fibonacci levels. As it hits levels, start laddering out. And once you see the big dip off or big pull off, you can obviously start go and buy back way more tokens than what you had previously. So this is one little example over here. Let's just go back over here to render. And the next one is sort of tracking momentum as it's going. So right now, if you look at previously render, it was running at this momentum over here. That was the momentum that it was running at, right? Then what it started to do is it started to accelerate upwards. So what we'll do is, let me show you this over here. Now what I did is we started to expand quicker, right? So what did I do? I took that previous low. So let me just show you here. There's the first low, second low, third low. There's a trend. Then we start to move away from that trend. So what I want to do is I want to track the new momentum. So I take that low and that low. And then what happens is it starts to expand even more quicker. So what you could do is you can start moving into slightly shorter time frames. Guys, this is just a little tool to help you quickly. And then I'll shift on over here. And then you start tracking that momentum. And what it basically means is you can keep tracking that up. But the moment you start losing one of the momentum points, you start going to the next one. So for example, if this goes up and it starts to lose this one, it's very likely it can come to this one, and that could be a bounce point, right? So it gives you an area of, okay, start to take a bit of profits here and start buying back over here. It's the same thing. If it loses that one, it will go to that momentum line. Eventually you will get the strong bounce point. And this will teach you on when to, offload a little bit and to obviously where to start buying back. And what's nice about it is you can also have this with Fibonacci levels and all the sort of things to help you guys with that as well. So render's looking pretty good. It's got a little bit of a flag, maybe another little breakout. I definitely wouldn't touch it as an investment right now. It's way too expensive. But I'll start preparing on, what I'm going to do if you made the big trade, right? You obviously made the good trade. I'm going to call it again until it happens, right? For me, Dogecoin, guys. Dogecoin, at some point, mega push coming. It's now indicated a shorter time frame, higher points here. I called the buy a little bit early on the show, but I do think Doge's time will come. So it has set its first higher high over there on the weekly, higher low here. Again, the range is at 10 cents. So the slow climb to 10 cents. I sort of want to accumulate as much as I can under 10 cents. Once you're above that, 16 cents, and obviously back to the 30 cents sort of mark, and even not maybe back to all-time highs. We'll obviously see. Year of the bull. Agreed. So Doge is a nice one. One that I think is going to do very well, guys, is Aptos. So Aptos is showing strength right now. It's showing a short-term break of daily trend at the moment. And I'm waiting for the break of this high here. And, after that, we got 14 and 20. But what's also exciting about this is one of the new tokens. And if I pop a couple of fibs here, right? So the same way that I did with the Injective and all the tokens, if I pop a fib over here to the bottom, then you can start to get a little bit of an idea that the 0.618 is here at 15. Maybe a short-term little TP sort of area, take a little bit of profits. But ultimately, you look at 618, 1618 areas over here, $30. So keep an eye on this one. Aptos does look pretty decent at the moment. I spoke about ApeCoin. So Ape is still, this is one that's crazy for me. This thing was sitting at areas of, $28. It's sitting at $2 now. For me, obviously checked in within a lot of, we've got Metaverse that are next to us into gaming side. They're still very bullish on them. Whenever I speak to someone fundamental, me, I'm into the charts, not so much fundamentals. They're saying things are still strong over here. And I look at the chart wise, we're starting to get somewhere. We're starting to show a bit of strength here. So first strong push over there. We're looking at the first higher high. So I'm looking at building these areas here, and it looks like the next resistance at $3, and then we got 4. So keep eye on Ape. So it looks like gaming is starting to warm up for another strong possible push to the upside, which obviously means we need to look at things like Super, which is looking pretty good. I don't think there's any entries on Super at the moment, but again, it followed the same recipe, but Super looks good. Next targets, if it gets through this 1.3, we're looking at $2 areas over there. I got things like G-Swift. I'm in G-Swift at the moment quite a bit within G-Swift. So this is one token that I'm also paying attention to. Let's look at a few others. Guys, pop them up. I don't know if Craig's over there. Let's pop up a couple tokens from you guys. Let's see. Let's see over here. So guys, if I am taking tokens from audience, I have not done research on them. So make sure that you are doing research on the tokens. On any of them, I won't. Let's actually have a look quickly at what Bitcoin's doing. So guys, what might happen short time frame is there might be a little retest of that 52, right? If we come down and test that 52, that would be a little bit of an area to look at what's available, right? Look at what's looking really good. But guys, there's not much resistance on Bitcoin. This is a strong 12-hour candle that's forming here at the moment. Maybe there is that little retest. I'll have a look here for a second. Maybe there is that little retest to the upside over there. But this could have enough legs to get anywhere up near that 60K sort of zone. So it's quite exciting to see where the market is going at the moment. I did speak about Chainlink earlier. Let's actually quickly have a look at Chainlink. Guys, should I take profits on this thing? Can I show you my trades? Can you guys give me your thoughts here quick? So I wasn't actually allowed to trade on Honeymoon, but I did manage to get an entry or two on the side, quite cheeky on the side. The wife does know now. We went a little bit shopping, so she is happy. But here we go. So I got Ethereum at 2,900. So we'll speak about that. I do think that 3,400 is probably going to be our target. But I look at Link. So I got Link pretty good, which is around the 17.7. And I have a little bit of this short-term entry, this resistance. I don't know if Chainlink is going to get through it. I don't know if it's going to first come back down here and then start to expand. So should I take profits on this trade? Give me thoughts. This is my leverage. This is my fun account. It's not my long-term. My long-terms are in big amounts, but 126%. So I'll show you this over here, 126%, and 195% as well on ETH at the moment over here. So yeah, let me know what you guys are thinking there. 𝗗𝗢𝗓. So yes, guys, I see 𝗗𝗢𝗓. I still think this is really good. So here we go. 𝗗𝗢𝗓 obviously had the strong push up, nice bull flag popping out here, guys. At any moment, I'm seeing a 𝗗𝗢𝗓 push, of up to $10. So I do think 𝗗𝗢𝗓 is a good one. Really good project, showing strength. You are buying it like halfway through the. This is like its first leg of the bull. So that means you catch it now and you make some great money. It is more or less a take profits, rally. So just remember you've already had one leg. So next leg, start preparing to get through. Any coins that you can obviously catch on the first leg is obviously the jackpot, right? You get those that makes your life a lot easier. But 𝗗𝗢𝗓, very bullish on. Personally, I'm invested in it. Looks really good. Let's have a look. CRV. Let's have a look at curve. By the way, guys, I do want to give a quick, massive shout out to 𝗦𝗔𝗔. Guys, this is the most incredible team ever. Obviously, we've started 𝗦𝗔𝗔, guys. It's $100 a month if you want, coaching, if you want your own private groups, you want signals, all these sort of things. I'll show you this, guys, over here quickly. We obviously got our different chats over here, and we got all of our different signals, our leverage signals, spot signals, our indicators. We got all my setups. I was speaking about, all the charts earlier about theta, all of these sort of ones breaking out early. So you would have caught it nice and early over there. We've got Dylan setups over here. We got Chaos's charts. We've got an incredible team. We've got DJ and David. We got Bruce. We've got Mama Sniper with all of her charts over here. And then we got cool things, guys. And tomorrow we got nice events happening. So if you want to join 𝗦𝗔𝗔𝗔, incredible. But we have airdrops. So if you see here, you got this airdrop channel over here. So airdrops has obviously been massive at the moment. And there's a massive call happening tomorrow. So, but have a look here at all the different airdrops that Chaos is pumping over here at the moment. It's incredible. So we got airdrop sections. We've got DJs only sections. We've got deep dives on tokens. We've got the sniper bags, which is the portfolios. All of these things are here for you guys. Do not shortcut on any tools, guys. Anything that you could use to help you guys within the market, do not shortcut on any of them. Let's have a look. PYR. So I agree. PYR. This, if we're looking at gaming, we're definitely looking at Vulcan Forge. Let's have a look at this over here. Okay. Obviously, market cycle wise looks good, giving us our first little weekly point. But let's quickly have a look and see a few things over here. So what I do obviously like about it is it was in a range for a while. And I like that it turned that range into support. So that's a good thing. Breakthrough, test of support over here. I would like to catch it a little bit lower than where it is now. I'm just speaking about if you wanted to buy. I would like to see maybe another little low over here, get a trend and a breakout. Yeah, I would say my areas are around about, the 66.5 maybe close to the 7th, to add a little bit to the bags, or I'd wait for the push and start to add as we start breaking flags to the upside. But if you want to talk about upside, you got resistance here at $8 to $9, and after that is $20. So the goal is to ultimately get in that area, this area over here, for the push, for the real push up there for up to $20. So that's looking pretty good. Let's see a few others. So let's see, is Bonk doing anything at the moment? I see someone saying Bonk here. Let's just see. Let me just get this in here quickly. Let's have a look. Yes, someone asked about Sniper Club. It's in the description, guys. Go below in the description. You'll find the Sniper School link. And I also want to give a quick shout out to Bybit as well, guys. If you want Bybit open accounts, recently on Banter, I have done tons of tutorials. So if you want to go look at exchange, which one you like, tons of them are there. We've got BitGet, we've got Deepcoin, we've got Bybit. They're all over there below. Let's jumping back in over here. Okay, we got this over here. Let's just see. SCLP, Scallop. So these are one of obviously my my higher risk, but one of my bull markets. I think it can be a possible 10, 20x sort of token. Is Scallop on KuCoin. So Scallop's around 30. It looks pretty good. Let's see if we can finally break through this range. I'm waiting for the recipe to play out, right? But let's just show you over here quickly of what I'm seeing on Scallop. So smaller cap tokens, remember, high risk, high reward. So smaller parts of portfolio. There we go, guys. So I'm just waiting for the top break here. Once it gets through 40 cents, then we're looking at $1, and then we're looking at 1.4, a lot higher up. So it's still here. You just accumulate slightly and just wait patiently for it. So Scallop is still definitely one of them. Okay, guys, if you've enjoyed the content, hit the like button. Love you lots. I'll see you all tomorrow. Come follow me and watch me on Banter Plus. Make sure you follow me on Twitter as well. I am posting a bunch of charts at the moment of Sheldon_sniper. And remember, if you want coaches, you want help within the markets, you're still struggling, but Sniper Club is available for you guys. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you guys all on tomorrow's show. Make lots of money. Much love.